Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time watching one of my videos, then hey, welcome. If you've watched some of my videos before, then welcome back. I'm going to be reading some interesting Reddit stories to you guys today while I spend some time in one of my Minecraft realms. So go ahead and sit back, relax, and enjoy. Before I forget, if you have a story that you want me to read and react to, send it to the email in the description below. Alright, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into our first story of the day. So, the first story that we are going to be diving into today is titled, Am I in the Wrong? I was dating this guy for 2 weeks, and I really liked him. But I broke up with him because my mental health was a mess and I needed to get myself together. I wasn't 100% certain I wanted to give us a break, but my best friend, I'll call her Kay, said he had told her he isn't in a headspace to be in a relationship either right now and doesn't know how to tell me and told me I should just go ahead and break up with him. Kay knew I still liked him, but needed space. Well, a few days later, she told me she liked him too. I shut her down, and then she started dating him behind my back. Then I found out from him asking me if she was okay. I haven't said anything, just acknowledged they were together and made sure she was okay. Now she added me on a new account. She moved, so we don't have contact in real life, just calls and texts. However, we were moving into an apartment together next year. I don't really want to call her out, but I also don't know if I should just ignore her completely or what. Am I in the wrong for feeling hurt? Even though it was such a short thing, it feels like she crossed the line. Even if he was her friend before and she liked him, why wait until after I date him? Why not tell me beforehand? It feels sneaky. It makes me wonder if I can even trust her again. And that is the end of the story. All right, I got some opinions on that story, and the comment section beneath that post does as well. No, the poster definitely, first off, should not feel wrong, like they're in the wrong at all. What the boyfriend and the friend did, she should just cut both of them off, honestly. First, he's your ex-boyfriend. Do you really need to be talking to him anymore? And second off, the friend is really just, in my opinion, a backstabber. She was deliberately making sure that her friend would break up with her boyfriend because she was wanting to get with him. That's what it sounds like to me. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. But the poster is definitely not in the wrong. The friend sounds like an awful friend, and the poster should, like I said, not talk to her anymore, cut them off, cut her and her ex off. That's what I think. But let me know what you think down in the comments below. All right, let's go ahead and dive into our second story. So, the title of this story is crazy, so I had to read it. Am I in the wrong for reporting my boss after he forced me to attend a meeting despite knowing I was in labor? Just that title alone. Crazy. Anyways, let's go ahead and dive into the story. I, 28 female, have been working at my company for 5 years until recently. I love my job. I was 8 months pregnant when this happened about a month ago, so I started having contractions while at work. Since I was not due yet, I thought it was just Braxton Hicks because they weren't that intense. Just a week before that, I had experienced Braxton Hicks and went to the hospital, but it was a false alarm. This time, I was still working when the contractions began in the morning, and again, I thought it was Braxton Hicks. I didn't want to cause a scene, so I tried to keep working. Last time I went to the hospital, my boss, let's call him John, 45 male, made sarcastic comments about me being overly dramatic and joked about how I should schedule my labor around important meetings. I have social anxiety and tend to take people's crap without pushing back, so I just took it. By noon, the contractions were getting stronger and closer together, and I knew it was real labor. I needed to go to the hospital. I informed John that I was in labor and needed to leave. He rolled his eyes and said, "Just stay for the meeting at 1 p.m. It's crucial, and we need you there." I was stunned. I reiterated that I was in active labor and needed to go to the hospital immediately. John snapped back, "It's just a meeting. Sit through it, then you can go. It's not like the baby is going to pop out right now." Feeling pressured and scared for my job, I reluctantly stayed. The meeting lasted an excruciating 2 hours. By the end of it, I was in so much pain that I could barely walk. I finally left and drove myself to the hospital where I was admitted immediately. My husband reached there 30 to 40 minutes later because he was on the other side of town for a meeting. My daughter was born later that evening, thankfully healthy despite the delay. When I told my husband about what had happened, he was furious and insisted we report John to HR. I was hesitant because I didn't want to jeopardize my job, but I agreed it was the right thing to do. HR was appalled and assured me they would handle the situation. John has since been suspended pending an investigation. The real kicker, during the investigation, it came out that John had emailed the entire office while I was in labor, complaining about my lack of commitment and making fun of me for overreacting. He even implied that I was using my pregnancy as an excuse to get out of work. Now, my coworkers are pissed at me, saying I overreacted and that I should have sucked it up for the sake of the company. I've even received messages and emails from a few colleagues saying that I've ruined John's career and that he was just doing his job under pressure. One even said that I should have toughed it out just like their wife did during her pregnancy. The stress from this whole ordeal has made it difficult to enjoy my first few days with my newborn. I'm constantly second guessing myself and feeling guilty despite knowing I did what was best for my baby and for myself. To make matters worse, the interim manager who took over for John is even worse. He made it clear to everyone that he resents my actions and has made my return to work unbearable. Now that my maternity leave is over, I find myself isolated at work, people giving me side eyes and whisper about me during lunch. I'm alone because no one wants to sit with the troublemaker. It feels like high school all over again. I dread going into work each day and facing the hostility and judgment. I never imagined that doing what was right for my health and my baby's well being would turn my colleagues against me like this. It's gut wrenching to feel so isolated and vilified for simply standing up for myself and for my rights. I cry most of the time when I come home, and sometimes even in the office washroom when someone passes a comment. In the worst moments, I get mad at my husband and blame him for making me tell HR, even though I know he did the right thing. He's so sweet and never takes it to heart. I apologize soon after, but he always says he wasn't even mad and that he understands how I'm feeling, especially since I'm just 1 month postpartum. He says I should take action and complain, but I don't want to make things worse. He also says that he can't see me like this and that I should just quit because it's hurting him. I don't know what to do. I'm just a sensitive and emotional person in general, and now it's been worse since giving birth. Am I in the wrong for reporting my boss after he forced me to attend a meeting, despite knowing I was in labor? That story is now over. Okay, so I think HR suspending her boss already shows you that the company knows what he was doing was absolutely in the wrong. Um, there is no way that he should have said to tough it out. If she is saying that she's in labor, she knows what Braxton Hicks is. She's already gone through it a couple hours. She feels the contractions getting closer together. Obviously, she knows this is real labor this time. She's trying to leave. And for the boss to say that, that is insane. And second off, like I said, the company already suspended him, so they know what they did was in the wrong. She should not feel bad for what she did. He should feel bad for what he did to her. And it's crazy that none of our coworkers are standing up for her. I don't know. I just find that crazy that this new interim boss came in, already said that he disapproves of what she did, and then all of the other coworkers are just going along with that. Like, what? But yeah, I think that's crazy. No, definitely not in the wrong. The boss is definitely in the wrong for what he did. Um, but yeah, I can't believe that no one else is standing up for her. That's just crazy to me. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. But yeah, we'll go ahead and dive into our next story. So, the fourth story that we're going to read today, the title just drew me in. It's titled, Am I in the Wrong for Not Taking My Ex Wife Back After She Left Me for an Alpha Male? Anyway, throwaway account. My ex, 30 years old female, wants to get back with me, 29 male, after she left me about a year and a half ago. I had been with my ex for about 7 years, married for 5. It felt like love at first sight, and everything felt so natural when we met. After about 2 years of dating, we decided to tie the knot. Not soon after, we welcomed our baby boy, now 4 years old. He was a pandemic baby, so my wife ended up quitting her job while I continued to work as a line cook and started doing Uber Eats on the side. After things went back to normal, my wife told me didn't want to be one of those women who lost their passion after settling down, so she went back to finish law school and take her bar exam. Of course, I wholeheartedly supported her, and we tried to make it work. After she passed, she immediately got hired at a firm downtown through the help of her friend, which we will call Dumbo, 33-year-old female. This is where the problems started. From the get-go, my wife began making good money, good enough that she told me to quit my job and take care of our son full-time, as she won't have the time. I said no. I loved my job. Cooking was my passion, and I even worked my way up to full-fledged chef. My biggest regret in our marriage had to have been her talking me into leaving, but I did, and I became a stay-at-home dad. Slowly, our marriage began deteriorating as she started to pull away. She'd work long hours and barely spend any time with us. She'd go out drinking to network with her colleagues on weekends, sometimes even going out of town. At home, she'd always just be pissy with me. It's like her personality did a complete 180. This wasn't the sweet, nurturing girl I fell in love with all those years ago. Our intimacy almost became non existent. After going through therapy, I can now see that I am to blame as well. I should have communicated better and shared how I felt. Luckily, the highlight through this was my son. Seeing him grow and being there for him through a lot of this, his first, always made everything feel like it was going to be okay. One day, she finally came up to me and asked for a divorce. I wasn't surprised. I felt everything was eventually going to lead up to this, but I still didn't want to give up. I asked her, is she sure about this, or does she want to try to make it work? I recommended couples counseling or temporary separation. She declined both of those offers and told me she had found someone else. Hearing this shattered me. Her changing and us growing apart, I can understand, but never once would I have thought that she would be the type to even entertain other men. She told me it's some partner at her firm. Ha ha ha, when did my life become a Korean rom-com? She told me that he invited her out a couple times and showed her the life of luxury she deserves. We argued for a bit, and she told me that he is twice the man as me. She called me feminine for being a stay-at-home dad while his wife was working hard and bringing home the money. What? It was your idea. And what about me working two jobs during the pandemic? To her, those weren't real jobs. I was a delivery driver and a cook. Wow. She told me this new guy is an alpha male who knows a woman's needs and how to take care of her. She bragged about how tall and muscular he is and how he has a real job and took her on a weekend getaway that she told me was work related. And here's the real kicker. He's such a man, he doesn't want to make things official until me and her are separated. I almost laughed at how delusional my ex had become. I asked her about our son and who would take him. She said I can have him. He likes me better anyways. I think that's what hurt the most. I couldn't believe she said that about her own son, throwing him away like he's some object. For the first time, I couldn't recognize the person in front of me. I won't lie, I did let the anger get the best of me and said some hurtful things back. I could tell she was taken aback by this, and probably because I almost never got that angry. She turned around and left. After she left, I cried my eyes out for 2 weeks, hoping she'd call and come back. I don't know, I didn't love her anymore, but life without her felt so scary. The only thing that kept me going was my son. I knew I couldn't turn to the bottle or go down this dark path because of him. I managed to beg for my job back, and they rehired me for some weekend nights only, which was better than nothing. I spent the next months just putting my head down and working in silence. The divorce proceedings were moving quickly, and before I knew it, it was official. The worst part about this was I felt like I had no support system. On social media, everyone was praising her for being this strong, independent woman who broke free from some metaphoric shackles, like I was some villain holding her back. and not a single person messaged me on how I'm doing. And thank God they didn't, because this is what made me want to try therapy, and I haven't looked back since. For all those that are unsure about therapy, I'm telling you now, it works. Now, fast forward to this week. I received a phone call from an unknown number, and I picked up. It was my ex on the other line bawling. She told me how her alpha male boyfriend found someone else, and she's too afraid to confront him because he's a partner at her firm. She finally explained her perspective and how everything led up to this point. Basically, my ex has admittedly always been really pretty and a social butterfly. After she had our son and the pandemic hit, she felt ugly and insecure. Even if I told her she was pretty. So I guess when she got her job, she got the validation she wanted. Of course, feeding into these delusions was none other than Dumbo, who recently had divorced her husband and poisoned my ex's thoughts with how I'm a failure as a man, how my ex is way prettier than me, and deserves someone of her standards. Apparently, I'm a beta male who rolls over and is stopping her from being free. She said a lot more specific stuff too that I think I'll keep to myself, but it was definitely just an eye opening conversation. I shouldn't have pushed my ex away to be vulnerable, even though she was listening to Dumbo, but still, after hearing all of this, I was really disappointed more than anything. That she would be stupid enough to throw everything away on some whim and peer pressure. My ex asked me if we can try again. She told me how much she misses me and how she took me and all I did for her for granted. For example, I always made her lunch in the morning, made sure she's up to date with her pills, and so on. She misses those little things. I admit to telling her that I missed her too, and I know our son does for sure. But she did make every decision herself. And what if things worked out with the other guy? I'm not some consolation prize she can come running back to. She cried and told me that she wanted me back a week after she left, but she was too prideful to call. I firmly told her no and hung up. Since then, my phone's been blowing up from friends and family saying that I'm heartless, that my wife was vulnerable and taken advantage of, and instead of picking her up the pieces and helping her, I'm leaving her to fend for herself. Not gonna lie, that message hurt the most. I respect her father a lot, so I heard him out. He wants me to come over for a resolution/intervention this weekend and bring my son. They just want a conversation to hear both sides and see if it really is resolvable. I'm attending, but I'm going to stay firm with my answer. But all the recent messages have been making me rethink my stance. I just want to make sure that I'm not in the wrong before I attend. Am I in the wrong? P.S. Sorry for the long rant. And now the story is over. Okay, first off, that guy is definitely not in the wrong. All the comments are rooting for this guy. The wife abandons not only him, but abandons her son for this random guy that works, with her at the firm, basically. I just cannot believe. I'm happy that it sounds like there's no update on this story, but it sounds like that he stood firm with his decision, which I'm very happy that he did, because although people are saying that she was manipulated by this guy, she definitely wasn't. She just thought she found something better and was trying to leave her husband and her son that's only 4 years old. That is just crazy to me. And I understand that people are reaching out to him and saying that he is making her, fend for herself and all this, but she made him fend for himself first. And look what he did. He, came out on top and came out better, went to therapy and bettered himself, and all power to him. This guy is definitely not in the wrong, and this wife is awful. Well, ex-wife is awful. So I'm happy that he stood strong, stayed there and took care of his son and did the best that he could. So, overall happy ending. Happy that he didn't take her back, it sounds like. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Alrighty, guys. I think that's going to do it for me today. I really appreciate you, especially if you made it this far, stopping by and listening to some of these Reddit stories while I play some Minecraft for you. I really just make these videos for fun in my free time. And like I said, they're a lot of fun to make. I really enjoy it. But if there's anything that I can do to make these videos better for you guys, please let me know down in the comments. Like I said, I strive to make these videos better for you, as you know, they're a form of entertainment, and you guys are clicking on the video, so I want to entertain you guys. So yeah, just let me know down in the comments. I really appreciate it if you'd leave a like. That would be epic. If you subscribe, that would even be more epic. But anyways, guys, like I said, I really do appreciate you stopping by and listening to these stories. It means a whole lot. Really, it means the world. So just thank you again. I really do appreciate it. Alrighty, guys. I hope to catch you in the next video. Peace.